good morning and welcome. This is Tampa Home Talk, and we have another exciting week lined up with our numbers. We're like reporting the same thing over and over again, and we feel it still in the market every single week, and we get properties that are like still not available. The only one we have available is because there's a tenant in there that's kind of jacking with our showings a little bit. So the one on Southwell, and I've got several coming up, including 2 in Apollo Beach that are right next to each other, which would be great for a family that wants to do that multi-generational housing thing, but might not actually want to live together. This is going to be a great option for a family like that. So no deed restrictions.
How often do you see that where they want to buy same street but not together?
Well, we're seeing a lot of multi-generational housing. Like the ones that's selling these is actually moving in. Like the daughter, the husband, and the dad, they're all moving in, but it's a really nice big split bedroom floor plan, kind of like with its own wing that dad can have. So those are great floor plans as people age. But, you know, depending on what people are looking for and what their budget is, this is a great option. It's got a lot of property. It's near the water down there in E.G. Sims Park. And so if you have a boat or any of that fun stuff, you can have it at your house without paying for storage.
Living next door to your relatives, I want different continents.
Yeah, I was going to say neighboring continents is shared like living space.
Well, you think about like healthcare. Think about how expensive like long-term care, even long-term care insurance is, let alone if you don't have it. A lot of people can't afford, or they don't have the money, or it doesn't work to put or they don't want to put their family into like an assisted living or something like that. So if it's right next door, they can check on them, they can cook for them, they can, do everything they need to do and still give them their independence. So anyway, we have several properties coming up on the market. If you want to get this information before it hits the market, you can call or text us at 813-377-2775. Just call or text off market, and we'll send you those properties that are coming up with the prices. 813-377-2775. So let's get in the numbers, shall we?
Oh, my favorite part of the week.
So I'll let you do the fun stuff there, Leo. That is your favorite part.
This is scaring me. The number of new listings is dropping week to week. We're like...
It's scaring you. You're not the one selling it. What are you talking about?
I'm the one trying to inspect them.
I mean,
they're dropping. This Leo came with Beryl Engineering and Inspection. I mean, I don't remember seeing a new listing week this low in a long time. We got like just over 800 new listings.
Well, here's our sheet here. We know with, let's see here. What's the number?
828.
You know, Leo, I don't think we have a week lower.
No, we don't. This is the lowest week.
That is the lowest week.
Yeah, and pendings went to 1912. So what are we at, a 2-week inventory right now?
I would have to calculate it, but I would say it's probably darn close.
I mean,
2 or 3 weeks.
So there's less and less houses on the market, and what is on the market is getting gobbled up faster and faster.
Yep. It is. It's like at no risk. So I'll tell you one more thing, and I couldn't wait to talk about this on the air, but I have my team, which helps a lot, and we do a lot of group text, so I kind of see what's going on. And so I had a client that moved here from Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
They're closing today. You know who they are, right? They can do their insurance. Anyway. So they were just talking about how, like, everything up there is locked down still. Can't go anywhere. You'd be lucky to leave your house for a run, and in this weather, you're probably not doing it up there. So anyway, they're probably really going crazy. So they were talking about how Southwest was leaving the middle seats open. That's what I experienced too. The 2 flights I had last year on Southwest, the middle seats were open. The first time I flew was almost completely empty. I had a quick flight to Nashville and back, and there was almost no one on the plane. Well, they were saying on the way back, like Southwest is no longer blocking those middle seats, and the plane was completely full, even the jump seat in the back for a,
flight attendant.
Yeah. Well, probably not flying flight attendant, or not on duty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, completely full, even all the jump seats, if you can believe that.
Wow.
Yeah, the last couple of flights I've been on, the plane's been completely full.
So what airline? Curiosity.
Let's see, an American, a Delta.
So they're all full.
Yeah, they're all full.
So where were you going from or to?
Last flight was a Belize flight, so.
Okay, so to the tropical places from here, I guess?
Well, no, from here to Miami, basically, because you have to fly to Miami. I mean, what we're finding is...
So is it full from here to Miami?
Yeah, there's a lot less flights, which the flights that are going out are full. So what they've done is they've just cut back the flights to make sure they're all full.
They have to. Think about it. Think about how much this has impacted the airlines. I mean, look at their stock prices. It's been crazy, just the impact that it's had on, travel. Like, I was worried about them making
their stock
it.
prices until someone famous in the media, Leo, says, invest heavily in airline whatever.
Yeah.
And then the stock price is going to jump. And then the SEC is going to come and arrest me for
Isn't that crazy?
rigging the market.
Really, that's insane. It's insane.
I think it's fine
not
so
rigging the
long as
market.
you tell them what you're going to do and then do it. You're fine.
How is that? Like, that's not even the premise of stock holdings, is it?
It's legalized gambling, so this
It
is the
is.
premise of speculation.
They make the rules. Got it.
It is. This is pure speculation. So yeah, it's legalized gambling. Stock market, for the most part, is always legalized gambling.
With decent returns, I guess.
No, it's gambling.
It is.
I mean, when you're
I
going
agree.
into a mutual fund and someone's put together a mutual fund where it's supposed to do better than what the market's doing and stuff, even that's gambling to some extent. But
It's
I mean,
all
when
gambling.
you're going in on certain stocks, that is definitely just like, I'm going to go into GameStop, or I'm going to go into AMC, or I'm going to randomly invest in Dogecoin. That's all legalized gambling.
How's your Dogecoin doing, by the way?
It did great. I had 5 Dogecoins. They went up in value 8 times their amount.
Oh my gosh!
Ooh.
I can't believe we're talking about
You're the proud
Dogecoin.
owner of 75 cents or something.
Pretty much. I mean, I didn't go into Dogecoin to invest in Dogecoin back in
was fun,
2016.
right? It was just the
I went
fun.
into Dogecoin to just say I have some. So my 5 coins are, I think, combined still under.
I can see this.
a penny.
So if Leo's at a party and people are talking about cryptocurrency, Leo's like, "Yeah, I got cryptocurrency.
I wasn't
I got like 5 coins."
I've got 5. I've got 5 of them coins. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I was amazed when Dogecoin went up from 0.001 to 0.08. I loved it, and that's by penny, by the way. But I mean, that 7 times increase.
Oh my gosh!
I barely made a dime.
Wow. A literal dime.
A literal dime if I sold, and I'd lose money if I sold because I'd have to pay a fee to sell.
As Adam is checking his Robinhood.
This
stuff.
isn't Robinhood. This is Coinbase.
Oh, Coinbase.
Yeah,
Okay.
Coinbase is the way to do it, because with Coinbase it's basically bank-to-bank transfer.
So I put money in Coinbase to buy cryptocurrency a long time ago. Never actually did it. The money is just still sitting in Coinbase.
You should do something with it.
Should have done it. It's just sitting in Coinbase.
Well, that's good. I mean, Coinbase is a conservative version of a crypto investor because
It's like a crypto bank, really.
it is a crypto, but you get into the big ones. You get into Ethereum, you get into XRP, you get into Bitcoin. You don't get into all the little like Dogecoins and other ones out there. Basically, if you're going to get into one of those, you have to use like a Bitcoin exchange. But yeah, I mean, stock market's very volatile. It's legalized gambling. Only put the money in that you're willing to lose.
You know what's a great investment outside of the stock market?
Real estate.
That's right.
Well, you can't find anything. There's 828 homes.
It's interesting. I had a meeting with my financial advisor, like to redo my Roth before the end of the year to add the money to it. And he was saying that I love that. It's the only thing I remember out of everything he said. But anyway, we were just talking about how you have your Roth, you have stocks, you have this, you have that, you have all this different stuff. And he goes, "But real estate is your home run." I said, "I'm so glad you think that way. I do too."
I always laugh at those major networking meetings that we attend, the weekly type where everyone owns a specific seat, and the financial planners always cringe when they say, real estate's your best investment. Not to a financial planner. They don't make a percentage on that.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, when you look at rate of return and long-term investing, it just is.
Yeah, but the financial planners don't want you to tell.
Well, it's still an appreciating asset that,
I know.
if you have a mortgage on it, it goes down.
And every time you wake up with a roof over your head, you appreciate it more and more.
Leo and his jokes.
I like that good.
Oh, my
He
gosh.
said he was going to be out of it today.
So
I'm out of it. So what are we going to talk about
Well,
this
we've got
hour?
time because I was just slipped a little note that both of our guests that we had the first hour flake.
So we'll need a couple of top 10.
I got an idea, yeah, on a couple things. And Florida Realtors does a bunch of stuff I'm sure we can cover. So we'll pull some lists on some stuff.
And then Adam's going to disappear
But-
at 9 o'clock, and when we
Are
need him the
you
most.
leaving at 9?
We might have to.
All
We'll
right.
see.
And Leo is going to leave at 9.
So you're both leaving at 9?
Well, I
already?
can no longer leave at 9. That means Adam can no longer leave at 9.
All right. So listen, I have a question before I roll into the next segment. I want to know if any of our listeners out there have listened to my book. So I want to
Listen.
know.
Wait,
no, sorry. Yeah, that.
I was going to
read
say,
it.
I thought I was supposed to read
It's
a
not on
chapter.
audio yet.
I was supposed to read a chapter.
Can you tell I was thinking about that? I just said it. Anyway, I want to know if you've read my book, Selling Through Relationships, Why Cold Calling Sucks and Relationships Win. I want to know if you've read it. And if you have, please call our studio number, 888-404-1010. 888-404-1010. And give me some feedback. I want to know what you think. I want to know if you've left me a review. I'm trying to get to 50 reviews by the end of the month, and I'm not making that up.
A live caller.
Yeah, so live. And if you don't want to talk, you can talk to Pat, and he'll pass on the information. But it's 888-404-1010. I want to know if you read it. Give us a call. Be back in a moment.
Good morning. Welcome back. This is Leo Kane with Beryl Engineering and Inspection. I'm just going to free rap on the microphone. Adam's joining me.
On the microphone.
Adam, why don't we just go into your 2-minute tip of the week?
2-minute tip of the week. God, there's a lot.
We can cover rising rates.
Rising rates is definitely something that is
on the rise.
On the rise, not going anywhere. And I get the question unfortunately, sometimes what we're seeing is with some of our carriers, even if they're going up 20%, unfortunately, even if I quote it with everybody else, it's still the best rate, which is what we're seeing is a lot of people are making the decision to kind of cut some of the coverages that used to you'd want to include as standard, and they have to make a decision to save a little bit of money.
Well, let me ask you this. Since the Florida Building Code recently changed with roofing underlayment, are we going to see a change to the wind mitigation form? Because the wind mitigation form is the report and form you get to get discounts on your insurance based on if your home meets certain codes and criterias.
Better question would be, we're going to see a change in price.
No, we're not going to see a change in price.
I mean, yes, but not the direction you want it to go.
We never see a decrease. We just kind of stave off some of the increase. So are we looking at a new wind mitigation form coming out this year?
That I don't know.
Who creates it? Who makes it?
The
citizens.
State. Yeah.
Oh, citizens. Yeah, that makes sense.
Every time I say citizens, I think of like communism. It's the Citizens Insurance Company.
Yeah, right?
The Soviet Socialist Citizens Insurance.
That I don't know, but what I will tell you is, regardless of what they talked about last week with getting that bill through as far as going ACV after 10 years on the roof, I'm seeing a lot of carriers that's just their new underwriting standard.
Yeah, no.
So if the roof is over 10 years, if you wanted to quote this time last year and your roof was 12 years old, I'd probably have 12, 13 options for you. Right now, if you want to quote, and your roof is 12 or 13 years old, I have like 4 options for you.
Well, that's the danger of these bills.
That's crazy.
Even if the bill gets shot down, the insurance companies are still going to move forward with their own internal version of it.
Right.
So it's going to force more people back into the Union of Soviet Socialist Citizens Insurance Republics.
There should be a better option besides that. Like, there should be people that want to pool their money with some rules in case I got to make a claim. Sorry, Adam, love you. I just feel like insurance is going like...
Well, you're talking about starting a new insurance company.
That's
you're getting a group of people together to insure each other.
So what's the rules around that? Do you know, Adam? Maybe we should be
Yeah, Adam, how do we form our own, we'll say...
insurance carrier. You should talk about that, Kevin Lucergello.
We'll have Tampa Home Talk.
Insurance?
Security insurance second.
Well, the first thing that you're going to need is a big old pile of money, which
what's the pile of money? That's what I'm asking. Like, how much money will we have to pull to be able to do it?
Probably need $50 to $100 million. I would think.
Geez, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's quite a Kickstarter.
You can get investors.
You can get it from a PPP or an EIDL or one of those other government loan programs.
All right, yeah.
But and then you have to rate it. I mean, so...
Oh, yeah, you have to get rated, too.
So who cares if you're rated as a D or whatever?
Yeah, what is the rating with insurance? I'm always curious. Like, it's a AAA best... What does that mean?
So there's 2 different main rating systems. You have Demotech and you have AM Best.
Yeah, AM Best.
AM Best is the...
Best.
Is the
one
best.
most likely to pay?
No, AM Best...
No, it has nothing to do with
It's just a rating system, but AM Best is the harder rating system to be rated by. So,
but what is the rating? He brings up a great point.
Well, they're looking into... Basically, it's all about financial stability and how your company's structured, right? So they look into reinsurance, which, again, for those listening, that is insurance that the insurance carriers take out for catastrophic events. So they look at how you have it structured there, total volume, premiums, all that type of stuff, and your loss ratio and everything else like that, and determine if you're gonna be, if you can handle the storm, basically. So
there's got to be a way to re-engineer it. There's always exceptions. You just got to talk to a good attorney to find out what the exception is.
You have to find out how easy it is to deny claims. That's the first step.
What if you call it something else? No, that's not what I'm talking about, Leo. It's quite the opposite.
No.
actually.
If you deny claims, you have the money and you're financially stable. That's what we need to do. If we're forming the Tampa Home Talk,
I know insurance companies do it to be profitable. What I'm talking about is starting an insurance company that's the fundamentals of insurance to begin with, right?
Well, unfortunately, if you did
not that
form
way
your own
anymore.
insurance company, and we would be treated no different from the lawyers who make a practice out of suing insurance companies.
So just like Citizens was formed out of necessity, right, from people that couldn't get insurance, got to be
It's
some
the people's
type of
insurance.
Well, Citizens, you're going to see a big push in Citizens over the next.
But they don't
probably
actually
2
pay
years.
anything if you have a claim.
That's the problem. Is the underwriting guidelines are getting so tight from the homeowners insurance carriers that Citizens is going to be your
Only
best
option.
option.
Oh,
Adam
God, that's
on.
terrible.
Adam put me on in Citizens for several of my properties recently.
Oh, that is terrible. It's really, you might as well. So if I had to go
Honestly,
Citizens, I
it's
would pick
not-
the most stripped down policy I could get.
Honestly, it's not the worst because they don't exclude some things that certain carriers do, right? Like you can't, you'll have water damage coverage, which
So there's
depending on the
supposed to
age
be
of
a
your home,
state pool not there to make a profit, right? That's the ideal.
idea, yeah.
So how
Correct.
much money is in there? Shouldn't we have the right to ask if it's a state pool?
Well, we do have the Sunshine Law. If you
It's-
ask the right question, they have to answer it.
There you go.
I'm sure you could find out, but I'm sure it's not profitable anyways.
Well, okay. All right. So enough about this insurance stuff that makes me
But
depressed.
this was the insurance tip of the week. I was just
Oh, it
asking.
is?
I was
Okay.
asking.
We were
So
actually
what
we were
was
talking
the tip?
about
I
we were
missed it,
talking
other
about
than insurance
rates.
was
We're talking
horrible.
about rates, and I was talking about the wind mitigation. That's how we got started on
So
this.
what was the tip? I missed it.
There wasn't really a tip. It was
you didn't
just
give
you
it.
need to. If your roof, my tip would be if your roof is going to be 10 years old this year, shop now.
So, okay, so let's think about that. What's the average cost of a roof, Leo? Do you know? Like average home, average cost, vanilla answer.
1,500 square feet.
8,500.
1,500 square feet. I don't think it's an average size home.
Yeah,
Is it a little more?
we say the typical 3.2.
Is how much? It's got to be bigger than 1,500 square feet.
The
Let's go
typical
with 1,800 square feet.
The typical 3.2, 1,500 square feet plus a garage.
Right.
Will be about 8,500 to re-roof.
So let's say $10,000, and according to what you're saying, you've got to save about $1,000 a year
I
to budget for a new roof, which means
this just
that you
sickens
should
me.
be saving at least $85 a month for a new roof, and by then it's going to cost more.
This just sickens me from a sustainability standpoint. We already don't have enough resources out there. We already have too much waste. So now we're taking a roof off 1/3 of the way through its useful life. Just the amount of waste, and that's CI waste, which is commercial industrial. So that just goes pure landfill.
I think we're going to see different. How insurance covers a lot of stuff, and you got separate wind deductible, and flood insurance is already different. I think you're gonna see different stuff, insurance for this, insurance for that, instead of people self-insuring if they pay their house
I'm
off.
wondering if we have to replace our roofs more often, I can push our my white roof agenda.
Maybe you probably could. What was your question,
What
Pat?
sort of agenda is
Have you
that?
guys noticed around the Bay Area so many blue tarps that are showing up on
Yes.
the list because people just can't afford it?
I have noticed blue tarps. Have
Well,
you?
it's not that they can't afford it. It's just there's a delay in the materials.
That too. Yeah.
It's not that you can't afford it. It's just right now, Owens Corning and GAF have shut down certain colors. They're only going to basic colors just to meet the demand.
That's what I heard. That the roofers are like, if you want a roof, this is your option.
Yeah, these are your three colors.
Yeah.
Is that the same for metal?
Metal, the 5E standing seam, those come in a Galvalume, and those come with a Kynar coating, so that's a little different. So the metal roofs will be a little different when it comes to color, but
They're
shingle
all going up in
manufacturer.
price.
But like I said, this is the time for me to get my white roof agenda out there, and to have these people all pushing white roofs if we're replacing them.
Why do you want white
So
roofs?
what can you do to fix the aesthetics
let me
of
answer
the blind? No, I'm just asking. What can you answer it? But the next question, a follow-up question behind that is, what can you do about the aesthetics because that's going to be the pushback, right? The blinding, weird, eyesore. That's going to be it. So, all right, answer Adam, and then Let's talk about engineering perspective.
Okay, so
for
from a scientific and engineering standpoint, with the polar ice caps melting, the Earth is adopting and absorbing more radiation from the sun. If we all in America put our roofs with white as the shingles, we can replace that solar reflectivity that we're losing in the the polar ice caps. So this huge ice storm that knocked out Texas, these really bad, rapid intensifying hurricanes, we can start to mitigate that by all having a white roof where we're reflecting the solar radiation.
What about metal? Like if you did silver metal, would that
would
count as
also,
the same?
but metal's going to be more expensive than shingle.
It lasts
Are
longer.
you sure that would really work?
It really would work.
True?
It is 100%
You
true.
heard it here first. Breaking news, folks.
White
Save
roofs
the
on
place.
the right.
White roof.
It actually is being talked about in the scientific community. If our roofs were white, we would be reflecting the solar radiation. Right now, they are a charcoal or a weathered wood or a slate, and they're just absorbing all that heat.
I never understood the dark shingles on
There's
the
a
roof
whole
myself.
section in the Florida Building Code about solar reflectivity.
All right,
Problem is, you got to get up there and clean it all the time.
listen. I know that's going to be the pushback.
Then
is
it'll be
can't
green
stay
roof.
clean. I think it's going to go metal.
No,
Anyway,
there's
listen.
These
when we
shingles
come
are
back,
algae resistant. I mean, these are the misinformation that prevents people from doing
Okay,
the
listen.
misinformation.
All right, here's what's going on the next hour. Top
roof
10 home
discourse.
trends for 2021. Stick around. We're going to talk about these. Top 10 home trends. Are you excited?
I'm
For
excited.
this year?
I'm very excited.
This is all like coronavirus related.
Ooh.
All right, stick around. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Didn't get enough of that. Welcome back.
Welcome home.
Welcome home. I messed it up. Welcome home. This is Tampa Home Talk. We're talking top 10 home trends
For 2021.
2021.
Number one, you should get a white roof.
No.
That
Number
that will
one.
be number one next year after this white roof discourse.
All right, go, Leo. What's number one on our list of top 10 trends for 2021?
If you had asked me before you handed this to me,
You would have known.
I would have known.
Yeah.
Number one, a Zoom room.
A Zoom room.
A Zoom room.
That's right. The Z Word found that they did a survey on the
Z-Word.
desire
Zillow room?
of homes with dedicated office space to top the list of reasons why Americans are working from home, of course, with COVID. So they would consider a move if they were able to continue working remotely, at least occasionally. And that makes sense, right? Some of them are
The
permanent.
hybrid method, I think, is going to be very popular.
I think it's definitely going to make it. So number two, we've been talking about this
I guess
all year.
I would guess number two as well, with the amount of pools that we are are doing designs for.
Number two is staycation
design.
We do
amenities.
pool design. Actually, yesterday was a great one. So now we have a 7,000 square foot home. They're adding a pool, a kidney-shaped pool, the size of a million kidneys. But this is fun because we're also designing a one of those like swim-up bar type things.
Oh,
yeah.
So
yay.
we've designed off the kitchen. We were designing a countertop, a 3-foot pit for people to do cooking and stuff, so they can actually serve people in the pool.
There you go.
That was a
So,
fun design.
Number
that
two,
sounds like an awesome pool.
homecation amenities.
Yeah.
That's it right there. So instead of staycation, literally homecation.
So this is people putting in pools.
Pool, top
getting more
the list.
creative, like pools with pergolas and decks. We saw a lot of. We're now getting into the swim-up bars and the stand-up kitchens outside connected to your pool. Very exciting times to be in a pool design company.
Pool definitely topped the list for things that people want. And that was true in the keyword search of the Z brothers there. So waterfront properties and docks also landed among the top 10, as you guys can imagine.
Because when you have to flee the mainland,
Well, you know,
you
people
need
just
to have
want,
access to a dock.
if you're going to be home all the time, you want something better to look at than your neighbor, right? I think that's the point behind it.
Well, I have a chicken coop in the backyard. That's something more exciting to look at.
People are also really kind of looking for this luxury experience at home.
I like
So
how
we-
she just completely
I'm
dismisses
not
my
talking about the
chickens.
chickens. Yeah. I can give you some more chickens if you want them anyway.
Well, that ties into number 5.
If you have extra eggs, by the way.
All right, stop skipping around.
I
We'll
have
get
a
some-
lot of extra eggs. This is like
I'll
peak,
bring you
peak egg
cartons.
Bring some.
I'll
We'll
bring
take
you-
'em.
I'll bring you cartons next week.
Oh, I won't be here next week, but the week after.
I'll bring you
Okay.
cartons.
I have cartons too. We're going to line up for the eggs.
Yes.
All right.
I definitely need to get rid of some eggs because I'm going to have like maybe 4 dozen too many come 2 weeks from now.
Hey, that's
you go.
not on here, but it's probably number 11 because it's kind of like a home garden, right? Except you get eggs instead of
Yeah.
vegetables.
Food at home, right? Like
Yeah.
growing your own food. All right. So number 3, we talked about this earlier. I call it something a little bit different. When I say the multi-generational housing, they're called this intergenerational living. Guess they're kind of one and the same, right? It's number 3 on the list. So according to Generations United, 1 in 6 Americans currently have multi-generational households. Exactly what I talked about. Remember?
Yeah.
Beginning part of the hour with the 2 properties by each other.
Now, I would...
What is Generations United? I want to make an organization so I can get quoted.
So if you were going to do it, how would you do it for the multi-generational? I would
If I was going to build it?
Yeah, I would do like a compound type method where maybe, or it's kind of similar to having the 2 houses next to each other.
It depends on if you want them in it or out of it. So I've seen some great floor plans. As a matter of fact, I almost moved because I liked the floor plan so much. Had a double master, was literally a neighborhood right across the street from the office. Downstairs had a big master with a small stackable washer and dryer, all the living area pretty much. Upstairs had a big family bonus room and a double master upstairs. So it was just like the best floor plan.
And I've seen some of them where they convert when you have a 3-car garage and they've converted that into a studio because they turn the laundry facility into a
Well, we're seeing
kitchen.
double laundry facilities.
Double laundry facilities.
Yeah, 1 up and 1 down. So two laundry rooms. That's a trend. It's not on here, but we're seeing it because I'm meeting with customers that are building stuff, especially in these $1 million properties. They want, and they have a pool. They don't want to drag towels upstairs. They want to do it down. We're just seeing that. So the other thing too that is interesting about this 2020 information is the share of young people moving back home reached all-time highs in the millennial and Generation Z, particularly renters. They moved back in with their parents.
We've been making fun of that for like 5 years. That's nothing new.
Well, they're saying that people like basically stopped renting and moving with their parents. They were renting on their own and moved back in.
Yeah, no, we've been making fun of that for like a decade.
So
this isn't just for Florida. This is all over the place, right?
So this is everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. So
I doubt they're putting these pools in Texas right now.
Well, yeah, but
well, that's what's driving people here.
But you know
Florida.
But my reason for it is like around here I would think it's probably a little less. But if you lived in a place like California where you just can't do anything, why
now
would
let me tell you what, those multi-generational housings with the in-law suites, especially the detached little cottage in the back.
Intergenerational.
Okay, we've all called them multi-generational forever, like before this was a thing. So I'm sticking with my same words. But anyway, we're seeing this, and it's a drop down, in the MLS where you can search for it. And those properties are hard to find, and we get people all the time that ask for them. We really do, with the main house and then a little cottage in the back. And the challenge is from the municipality space, if it's got a kitchen and laundry facilities, they want it to be like double impact fees, zoned for 2 dwellings. It can get muddy as it relates to
there are ways around that because
zoning,
you can you can't have an actual stove, you can't have a 30-inch sink, so there are ways around it.
Yeah, definitely. That's what they're doing, right? All right, so number 4 on the list is the gourmet kitchen. So with the stay-at-home orders, many people really brushed up on their culinary skills, and it's from the desire for gourmet kitchens, right? Well, you spend a lot of time in the kitchen, and I know in my house it's the hub of the home, so it makes sense.
And we spend a lot of time watching cooking shows.
You do?
We think we can cook.
And
so we want to upgrade the
it's not
kitchen,
right.
and then we buy a whole bunch of stuff and never use it.
You personally, or
in general?
Okay.
In general.
Okay.
Maybe me personally. In general.
All right, so number 5, I know you were dying to talk about this.
Oh, yeah. So backyard chickens.
No. Backyard oasis. It might be a chicken for you, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they value large outdoor space to distract yourself. The large outdoor space can go into those homecation amenities. So, yeah, just having...
41% of people want this extended living space.
What I would like to see if more people are at home, more people take on their own landscaping. They make their yard beautiful. They put in some planting beds. They start growing some produce.
Oh, my gosh. The home improvement stores were jamming. Did you guys notice that? Like, people home, they weren't working. They were...
Oh, yeah.
They were improving stuff. You know that's true. They were running out of stuff. All right, so number 6, smart and safe tech. So with the desire to lessen the number of germs in the home, buyers are increasingly looking for items like touchless appliances, faucets, self-cleaning toilets, and more. I tell you what.
Self-cleaning toilets, I love those.
I know. I need one of those.
I want the self-cleaning toilet that has the high volume, like, pressure flush.
So this property right here that we have under contract, the one at 6904 Park Strand Drive.
You can't put the little thingy in the tank.
No, to just unscrew it in the back till it's higher, and then you'll have more water in there, and then it'll then be...
You can't re-engineer this, Leo?
I could re-engineer it. I thought you were saying to put one of those little blue tabs
No,
in
I
the
just
tank.
switched mine out last week. Yeah. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it.
So this property right here,
It's a beautiful house.
hence
It is a beautiful
why
house.
it's in the upper end of the price range that they're saying actually moved slower, but it technically didn't because it had
A tenant.
different property.
had a nice
Listen,
pool.
it had basically every room you walked in, like laundry, master closet, all those stuff, automatic motion lights. So you don't have, there's no switch. It just goes on when you walk in.
And there's a nice pool on that one.
Beautiful
too, right?
pool, yeah.
Yeah. I looked at that one
Beautiful pool.
yesterday.
And it's a great floor plan, great layout. It's got everything you could want, a whole wine bar, a little separate bar with a kegerator. I mean, it is just the home. It really is. So, again, the touchless stuff. Number 7, small city living. So with more opportunities to work remotely, buyers are looking into smaller, more affordable communities to open spaces. So I think this is interesting because we're seeing the opposite. We're seeing people that were living in the city move a little bit more to the suburbs because they can work from anywhere and get more space. So I don't know that we're seeing that here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really have your backyard oasis with your huge pool and the house with the Zoom room
Well,
and the small city living.
that's what it's saying. I think that's what it's saying. Like it's moving out into the suburbs.
Well, it
so you
says
can
they're
get more
looking into
space.
smaller, more affordable communities and open spaces.
Well, like Fishhawk Ranch would be that. That's a
Right,
small
that's what
city
I'm
living.
saying. Like
Okay.
they're moving.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, because like with Fishhawk,
What you're seeing
They
is
have
what they're
amenities.
saying.
with
Yeah,
Fishhawk, you have like you have its own city center. It's got its
Yes.
own entertainment. It's got its own shopping. You can actually
Schools.
live your entire life and never leave
Not
that
leave.
subdivision.
Yeah, that's what they want. All right, so number 8, health and wellness areas. So if you don't feel safe going to the gym, having an area in your home dedicated to health and wellness is ideal. So I've literally seen everything from yoga rooms to I saw a little it's not the steam, it's the sauna with the dry heat.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah,
Sauna, yeah.
So I've seen those in properties.
You find one with a golf simulator, you give me a call. We'll
A
do
golf.
deal.
I did see one actually.
I walked by a golf.
It was in
simulator
Apollo
the other day.
Beach.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
my
they were leaving it.
My parents live in Apollo Beach.
Yeah, but they
live
take
down
the
there.
golf simulator with them.
I can see if it's still available. It might be more than you want to spend, but I did see it. You told me to let you know. I'm letting you know.
Andrea would never let me
You should
buy a
use-
house in Apollo Beach.
Well, I guess. Sorry, I let you know.
You can't live in a condo forever.
That's true.
Yeah, I tried it, but then I got married.
So this one's interesting too. Number 9, pet-friendly living. So we saw a lot of pet adoptions really on the rise and increase in 2021. As a matter of fact, I remember hearing something about how the shelters were like out of pets because so many people like adopted pets when they were home. So home buyers, home renters, they're all looking for more pet-friendly features, such as a pet shower or a dog wash area. We totally need one of those in my house.
That'd be
Like a
awesome.
mud room almost.
Well, I mean,
No.
I have the same. something-
Bedroom is like where you don't track it through the house.
I have something similar.
Right.
It's kind of like put the
For the
dog in the
dogs.
bathtub, and I've got the thing where I can take the hose off and then kind of give him a little rub down and a soap down.
Well, I have 2 big dogs, and one of
Oh,
them is
mine's
really
small.
hairy. A
Yeah.
little one that doesn't shed. He's mine, like the other 2 dogs.
Would it be nice to have an outdoor pet washing station area?
Yeah, with a big tub, like a scrub-a-dub-dub, silver tub. Yeah.
Do you sing to your dog while you bathe it?
No.
I do.
You do?
Yeah, you gotta keep him happy.
Not a bad idea. I like it.
Did you sing to your child when you bathed it?
No, I don't sing at all. I don't
Really?
sing, no.
But you have voice coaching lessons.
But I don't sing.
Adam, do you sing to your dog when
Of course. No, I don't bathe. That's Andrea does the dog bathing, but I do sing to my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a dancer, not a singer.
Oh, you dance to your dog.
I can dance. I'm not singing.
Oh, you gotta sing to your dog. Make up all sorts of crazy songs.
Yeah, that's a normal dog thing.
My dog just wants snuggles. He doesn't want singing. He just wants to snuggle right by me. All right, so we'll talk about number 10 when we come back. How does that sound?
I
Sounds
think
good.
this is the fastest we've ever run through a top 10 list. We're out of practice.
We did. Well, we
Normally
can.
it's an entire hour to go through a top 10
We'll
list.
talk about a few things that we're seeing and anything we think is not on the list. How's that? When
Chickens
we come back.
weren't on the list.
Chickens.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's
Isn't it
the
like
next trend.
Yeah,
the next
it's like
shift.
the home garden.
Home gardening is great. I mean, you grow
But
your
then-
own food. You
yeah.
know exactly. I know exactly what's in the eggs I'm eating.
I think there's a whole like community and book and stuff on that sustainability and supporting the farmers. And
I need to get solar panels on a white roof. I need to get off the grid, grow my own food,
Florida won't let you. Remember?
get a shotgun, sit on the porch, and keep people away during the zombie
I don't know what
apocalypse.
planet you're living on. We'll be back in a minute. This is Tampa Home Talk. Wait for number 10.
Welcome home.
Ooh, well done,
Aw,
sir.
This is Tampa Home Talk. Welcome home. We're so glad you're here. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, it's been a fun hour considering all our guests canceled.
That's all right. We still have fun. We're going to make it work no matter what. You know that.
Top 10 lists.
So, number 10. This is interesting, but we are definitely seeing it, and it is supposed to keep going and keep going and keep going. But number 10, new construction. So more than a quarter, and that, you know what's crazy, Leo? We're looking at MLS numbers. A lot of the home builder numbers are not even in these numbers.
Oh, wow.
That, if you can believe that. Like,
Because they just...
some of the big ones like Lennar, they put them on there, but not all the builders' inventory is in MLS. So none of that's even counted in these numbers.
Wow. Where are you seeing the most growth?
In terms of building,
Hernando County.
Pasco.
Pasco.
Definitely Pasco.
Not Hernando?
So,
No.
what area of Pasco?
Hernando's building
She's
too.
so anti-Hernando County.
It's still the
You're
50 door.
I'm very pro-Hernando
The
The
County.
54 corridor, all these little pockets that are close to Tampa are getting snapped up and built out.
It's going to be like Riverview, where you go down through.
Don't remind me, I moved from Brandon like 30 years ago because of this. I don't want to move.
I'm still bitter that Pasco annexed Hudson from Hernando County.
They did?
Yeah.
Good for them.
Well, Hudson really never was Hernando, but
See, she's so anti-Hernando County.
no, I just wasn't. No, I'm not. My daughter bought in Hernando. I'm not. So
She couldn't wait to get rid of her daughter. Shipped her out to Hernando County.
no, she was already out.
Might as well be South Georgia.
She was already
Yeah.
out. I wanted her to stay. It's the son I want to go. You got it wrong, Leo. So yeah, no.
Must not listen to the show.
I don't listen to the show.
No,
He plays
your son-
games while he's on the air. I love it.
But top 10 list.
Top 10 list.
So the interesting thing, more than a quarter of these buyers that bought new home construction, they did so because of either custom features, and also 37% wanted a new home because it was never used, never lived in, brand new. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That gives you a really clear picture on how much news and media really impacts what people are doing. I mean, 37% is a huge number.
Yeah.
That for people that just want new.
Well, I mean, I think it's not just that, but I mean, it's everything we talk about every week where we're talking about homes falling apart and all the things that go with it. And
Well,
if
the
it's
stuff people are buying, right?
Right.
Because there's nothing available.
And if it's a brand new house, hey, you don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah.
You
So-
think. I mean, your house has never been properly broken in.
Well,
It's never been tested.
If you give it to Leo, he'll find a bunch of defects.
But even
He
if we
said 5 years is the sweet spot.
Yeah, 5
I got
years
it.
is the
Yeah,
sweet
that's right,
spot.
you did.
You want, because we're in there for 2 to 3 hours. We're going to find a lot of stuff, but that's not going to take the place of you living in your home. Like a good example. Let's say there's a little bit of pebbles and debris in your plumbing supply line to your kitchen sink. We're going to run the kitchen sink. It might run fine. Now, that debris might shift and then get to a valve. So when you run that same sink for 3 weeks straight, you might all of a sudden notice you have like low pressure in this one faucet. It's because there's debris in the line.
It makes complete sense.
You're going to find that only by living in your home.
Yeah, it makes sense.
5 years.
5 years is a
Spot.
sweet spot.
So, gentlemen, let me ask you something. Out of our top 10 list, was there anything from like coronavirus was just a year, right? The way we had to do stuff and the way we had to make some shifts. Did you guys do anything or modify? I know you didn't move, but did you change anything in your home around any of these top 10 areas?
None of these 10 for me.
No?
Space to work. That's about it.
I was wondering at least the Zoom
I mean,
room.
I already had a room dedicated to
Zoom?
an office. It wasn't dedicated to Zoom. It was. I have a home office.
The Zoom room just sounds so much cooler. No?
It does.
It does.
It
Yeah,
does.
It does. So here's the interesting part. We redid our pool, remember?
Oh, yes.
Early last
I do
year.
remember that.
We were planning to do it already, and then I got a little bit freaked out when COVID started. And then I was like, you know what? Never mind. We're just going to redo the pool anyway, no matter what happens. And then there was like a wait. And then we redid our deck and pavers. Mm-hmm. My pool guy went to go pick them up. There was people trying to buy them out from underneath them. I already paid for. We already bought them. There's people trying to bid higher and get them sold to him because there was such a backlog on stuff when things finally did open.
That's wild.
Did you claim your stuff? Were you able to?
Yeah, he got my stuff. I was like, are you kidding me? If somebody stole my pavers I already paid for, I would have been down there fighting
Track
somebody.
them down. would have been a mistake on their part.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
they
it
would
was-
have gotten a 1-star review.
Well, we started this. We were like 5 years really overdue redoing our pool. We had
You had
pits
to wait
in there.
5 years for those pavers?
No, we were 5 years overdue in redoing the pool, the renovation. And then we ended up spending good money on it to do it. We redid all the tiles. We added some mosaics. I mean, we did new equipment. We went back to gas. We were on a gas when we bought it, and we switched to electric. Big mistake. Never do that.
Always gas.
Went back
Always
to
gas.
gas. So that was really, really great. And it's, really, but we never really experienced the shutdown too much because we pretty much had to work through it. I probably should have taken the 2 weeks off and not done anything, but I was actually worried about people and just stuff in general. So we were like steady on the phones, but I probably should have slept for 2 weeks straight.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you back then was same as everybody else is thinking, how is this going to affect your business moving
yeah.
forward,
Yeah.
right? Like,
We did, yeah.
If nobody buys if nobody's moving and buying a house, they're not buying insurance. Like,
Hence why I was wanting to put the pool renovation on hold. I was like, maybe I should hang on to the cash. And then I was like, yeah, doesn't appear to be slowing down.
yeah.
So, I mean, really, if you go all the way back to...
Remember when we thought toilet paper was going to be our biggest problem?
I walked into a house. This was, I forget where I was at, but earlier this week I walked into a house and their entire closet, like where everyone usually has shoes, like a walk-in closet was filled with shoes. This was just filled with toilet paper.
That's
and
a lot of poop tickets.
I'm like, I haven't seen this in a long while, but this lady had the market cornered on toilet paper.
Wow. Talk about freaking out and wow.
I don't understand why the run on toilet paper personally, but I guess that's just one of those things people don't want to run out of.
Well, so there's actually was a psychological reason for it.
Oh, please explain.
So basically, when you take the Maslow triangle of food, water, shelter, then you move up to self-actualization,
Right.
that triangle that we all study in high school. When COVID hit, food, water, shelter was supposed in people's mind taken away from them. So they wanted to reach out for those bare basic needs to take its place, and toilet paper was on the rung of food, water, shelter. It's part of shelter. So they wanted to accumulate shelter to feel secure because they lost self-actualization, they lost esteem, they lost community, they lost all those rungs, so that we went primal. And apparently going primal means you want to collect a lot of toilet paper.
Man,
Well, people are usually busy, so they probably didn't have a lot of time to think about it before COVID happened. And so now that it did,
tune into this show if you want to be smarter at the end of Friday. than
I know, Leo
you
will
woke
add
up
some
in the
value to your
morning,
brain.
all right? I take a lot of good nuggets.
I love listening to Leo. I feel like I'm watching. What's that? One of those documentaries. Anyway, all right.
Docu-series. We're a docu-series.
Yes, there you go. All right, This is Tampa Home Talk. We'll always give you some little nuggets, and we'll be back for hour number 2 in just a minute. Stick around. Susan Jackson Designs will be joining us in the house in just a few minutes.
White roofs, save the earth.
Welcome
Yes.
home. We'll be back. Stick around.